Welcome in to the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig Burley is with us in the studio. We also welcome Stewart, Robson.
Just hearing on that, what do you call that thing? The king of the...
King of the pitch.
King of the pitch.
Yeah.
I've done a few, I should know, king of the pitch.
Yeah.
I've just
on
been...
the slide did make number one. It didn't make it through.
He didn't?
No.
Dembele still...
No, someone else took over from Dembele. It was like a Roberto Carlos-esque free kick. Remember that from out... not free kick, sorry, volley from outside the box. From back in the day.
Kind of. And it was better than Szoboszlai?
Well, I had the deciding vote.
Why?
Because there was only 3 on.
It's something that should never happen. You should never be allowed to be involved.
We've had a lot of questions, a lot of comments about the man who has been growing his hair, of course, until Manchester United win 5 in a row. Today was supposed to be the day, and it never happened. Obviously, it finishing 1-1 in the end. Nedum, is he ever going to be able to cut his hair?
Probably not in my lifetime, no. But to be honest, it's good for him. You know what I mean? He can extend his sort of like fame a bit longer, because when he cuts his hair, everyone will be like, "Oh, look, here's this actual normal guy. What's he going to talk about now?"
I know.
So yeah, in some ways, I'm happy that he's got the chance to continue chasing it. More power to him.
This is right up your alley, isn't it, Robbo? Following this story, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know all about this story. I mean, who cares really? Someone with no hair. I mean, anything about hair, I don't really want to talk about.
What is it again? What's the story?
So he's grown his hair.
Yeah, no, I've seen a picture.
Okay. So obviously for the last 430 days or whatever it is, it's been growing because he made a promise that he was only going to cut it when United won 5 in a row, and it's gone viral. It's very...
This is the trouble.
Well, no, it's not. It's a nice... Don't be negative about this. It's quite a nice thing.
It's not. It's
He's not hurting anyone. He's helping people with everything.
Let me tell you what it is. It's attention-seeking 2.0.
I don't know. I think it's nice. It's nice.
The world now is full of attention seekers.
I think, but this one seems to be quite a nice one. He seems a nice chap.
Yeah, but I'm sure he is a nice chap. He's nothing better to do.
Well, he's helping.
And go on social media and go, "I've still not cut it." As Robbo said, all right, call us a couple of old curmudgeons.
Yes, I will.
But it's just attention-seeking. I mean, we get the FC Twitter account posting out and all that.
Yeah.
They get nothing better to do.
I'm sure.
Post some decent stuff out, for God's sake.
People care. People care about
clickbait.
him.
Absolute clickbait.
Well, it's not clickbait, is it?
Clickbait.
No.
Anyway, then nothing to do with us.
Anyway, another Fergie time.
Distance myself from that.
Another Fergie time goal. What will it take from Carrick to become the manager next season?
Well, I don't know. Look, you have to. You don't get carried away. And I agree with what Saham Shaka said a week or so ago. He said, United here have made such a mess of the last few years, both in recruitment of players and running the club, well, basically just running the club, as well as management appointments. And they have to be ruthless, and Shaka said that. They have to be ruthless. If they turn every stone and they decide that Michael Carrick has done a good enough job, that's their decision. But whilst he is doing a good job at the moment, if that continues to the end of the year, they still have to turn every stone and say, what are our options? Not just sit and go, oh, Carrick's just doing, he's won 7 out of 9 now, and he's done this and he's done. Let's not even look around, which I'm sure they are looking around. I mean, if they're not, people should be fired. So you have, no matter how well he, and I don't know what the guys think, but no matter how well he is doing, you still have to be looking at all the other options out there. And if you think that other option, be it a much more experienced manager, is going to be better, then you have to let him go at the end of the season. It's not a fairy tale story. It's a multi-million corporate football club playing with the big boys. So if they turn all those stones and they still say it's him, that's their decision.
The argument that Mark Ogden puts forward, Robbo, is why they should do it sooner rather than later, is because, for example, if you hang around for Thomas Tuchel after the World Cup, you've missed out on a big chunk of time to be able to build a squad, to sign players that you need to play a certain system.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that, but at the moment, I would give Michael Carrick that little bit longer to see if it's just not a flash in the pan and it's just a change of manager and he's doing okay. But remember, they've made some bad decisions, keeping Erik ten Hag when they desperately didn't want him. And because they won the cup final, they said, oh yeah, we'll keep him for a little bit longer. And everybody knew he was going to get the sack after a couple of months. Then they get Amorim, who they must have done their homework on, but he obviously wasn't the manager for them because he was stubborn. He didn't want to do what everybody thought he should be doing. He stuck to the same system. He didn't get the best out of the players, and he in press conferences he almost wanted to get himself the sack. So they've made bad decisions before. I think they've got to give themselves enough time, as Craig said, to turn lift every stone up, have a look underneath. What is the best manager they can get for the style of football they want and the style of club they're trying to run? That's what they've got to do. They've got to wait a little bit longer, I think.
Nedum, you're nodding in agreement?
No, I'm nodding, but it's more so because I think with Carrick being in there now, I think this is a good case study for the people who are going to be appointing the next manager, because you look at the players who are already there and the ones who, you know, could be there for another 1, 2, 3 years and think, is Carrick getting the best out of them? Are the players getting better? And if they are, why is that? What is he doing that's making those players perform to a better standard? If it's about, say, the way he's a head coach or it's about the motivational thing, well, if Carrick's not going to be the best guy going forward, then maybe now they're looking for a manager who also has those traits. Because, for example, you could bring in a dictator for next season and maybe the players' performance will dip, you know, but instead it seems like here's somebody who's coaching the players up to give them a style of play which they like, which they enjoy, which they can buy into. There's a boost in confidence. And it seems more than anything that he's sticking to the football side of things. You know, maybe that's the profile of manager that they do want next. And if they can't find somebody there's a bigger status than or whatever than Michael Carrick that has that style, then maybe Michael Carrick is your man, because I think it's fair to say that, you know, in these recent weeks we've seen them play better than we probably have done in perhaps 2 or 3 years.
What they don't want is another manager like Amorim who comes in and says, I play 3-4-3 and that's it and all about it. Because no manager does that. Some make more tweaks than others, some make more changes than others, but all managers make changes. And they're flexible. Otherwise, you're just going out buying players. You're only buying wing backs because you're always playing with wing backs. You're buying centre halves that are better at playing in a 3. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, you have a framework of which you want to work under. Most of it nowadays is a back 4. There was a bit of a craze, I would say probably in the mid to late 90s. I certainly remember when I was playing, there was a bit of a craze about back 3s, and it went away for a bit and then it sort of came back. But it feels like most managers play with a back 4. And that's the sort of base to go forward. And then they rotate the midfield and the front line in front of that. So that gives you flexibility. What you don't want is another manager that says, I have basically no flexibility. Get me that player and that player. And then when it's not working, he's up the creek without a paddle. And that's where Amorim was.
Sticking with United, Robbo, has Sesko demonstrated he's a more effective as a super sub or a starter?
Craig mentioned it in the show. When he came on, he didn't play particularly well. The ball went up to him 4 or 5 times. He lost control of it. He had got turned and had one shot before he scored the goal. It was a good finish. He hasn't done enough when he's played, when he started games. You know, if you're going to be the main centre forward, you've got to run in behind, you've got to hold the play up, you've got to score goals. Has he done that well enough? I don't think so. And Burmo, when he's playing through the middle, has made more dynamic runs, he's been more threatening, and I'm not sure whether he scored more goals, but he's looked a much better player. So at the moment, I think he's a super sub rather than a starter.
Yep.
Is the new manager phase over for Rosenior, Craig?
Now, hold on a minute. Come on. I mean, listen, I've been a little critical of the sort of rhetoric and the sort of try to bamboozle with certain words. But his results, bearing in mind he's you know, a relatively inexperienced coach. You thought I was going to say a young man.
No.
I'm staying away from that. His result, yeah, that's a disappointing result. There's no doubt about it, particularly from 2-0 up and at home and against, you know, one of the weaker teams, albeit a team that's got a lot of fight in Leeds. But actually, since he's come in, he's had got a lot of good results.
Absolutely, and they're playing better. First half, they played really good football today.
I mean, that's going out the traps way too early.
Okay. Nedum, is it really a poor season for City if they can beat Liverpool at Anfield, finish top 8 in the Champions League, and still keep the pressure on Arsenal in 2 major trophies?
Poor season. I think the Champions League thing, the fact that they are in the top 8, that's mission accomplished, isn't it? It wasn't exactly the most beautiful thing in the world to see, but they did manage to functionally do it. I think the fact that they are in 8th will cause probably some issues further down the road. And as for the league itself, I think the fact is they're not in control. You know, if Arsenal win the games that they need to win, and more importantly, win that game against Man City in a couple of months' time, then the title will likely be there. So City aren't favourites in that either. So, you know, this League Cup final against Arsenal could go either way. So in some ways, it hasn't been a vintage Man City season because we've seen so many imperfections, but they're still technically involved. So yeah, I think it's not poor. I just don't think it's got the same sort of energy behind it right now as, say, we've seen in other years where they finished the season off really well.
There was hardly any energy in that answer. Very negative.
It'd be a surprise if Arsenal didn't win the league, and it would be a surprise if Man City did.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's where we are. I think if they finish second, which they probably will, I don't think that would be a bad season. I think that's just a reflection of where they are, and maybe a reflection of the manager's time coming to an end. Not coming to an end because he's a bad manager, coming to an end because he's probably lost a bit of energy for the job, and all the sort of changes and frustrations and that go with it. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of what they've achieved, second is ultimately losing. But I kind of think that's where they are, particularly when you look at Arsenal's squad.
Yeah.
I think most other managers wouldn't even have City, to be fair, where they are in the league. The fact that Erling Haaland scored all those goals and then didn't, and then obviously there was that big result at the weekend again, but I just don't see them going all the way with Arsenal.
Final question for you, Robbo. If you're setting up a Robbo FC team, who would you rather have as their manager? Conte, Mourinho or Simeone?
Well, on his record, I'd go with Conte.
Well, his record in Europe's terrible.
Won, yeah, I'm talking about winning Serie A on a couple of occasions, winning the Premier League with Chelsea in his first season. He's done it everywhere he's been apart from Tottenham. And even did well with the Italian side when it was an absolutely
He's never done it in
really
Europe, though, has he,
Robbo?
Never done it in Europe.
He's never done it in Europe, no, but I'm always about winning the league and worry about Europe at another date. So I would go with Conte first.
I knew he was going to say Conte. He loves Conte.
No, well, I think Conte at the moment is more, you know, if you're talking about recency bias, Simeone's struggling, has been for a couple of years. They get the odd spectacular result. Mourinho's definitely, you know, he's looking at international football, isn't he? But I think if you look at them when they're all in their pomp, it's Mourinho. You know, winning the Europa League with Porto, and then what did he do?
He went to Real Madrid.
Won it next year, won the league.
Chelsea, sorry, then Real Madrid.
Won the league with Inter Milan. I believe won the Champions League with Inter Milan. So I think at the time he was, as he called himself, he was pretty special.
Yeah.
But that's certainly, you know, if you're high on the manager now between Mourinho and Conte, it would be Conte.
Inter then Real Madrid. I got that wrong. Surprise.
You shouldn't have jumped in. If you're not sure.
Don't buzz unless you know the answer.
Simeone, my God, I mean he's done some really good things at Atletico Madrid, but I suppose I say the style of football because the style of football the other play isn't always great. But I just feel that, I don't know, that success feels like a long time away then.
Yeah, it does. It does. Nedum, do you have an opinion on this?
Yeah, I'd go for Jose Mourinho, Jose Mourinho in his prime. And also, did he win the Champions League with Porto? Or am I making that up?
Yes.
Is that 2004?
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
he won the... I'm getting mixed up because he won the Europa League against Celtic, and then the next year won the Champions League. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he won the Champions League with
Prime
Inter,
Mourinho for me all day long.
Or did he visit Bayern? Robbo, does that change your mind?
In their pomp, I think you asked me about now, didn't you? And I would say Conte was the manager I'd put in now.
See, there's always an out.
Exactly, especially with Robbo. And that is it. Very nice. ESPN FC is back on your screens tomorrow. Of course, Liverpool in action against Sunderland. Bayern as well, playing Leipzig in the Pokal. Be sure to...
Sunderland.
That's what I said.
You said Liverpool.
Sunderland, Liverpool.
Oh, you're right. I thought it was Arsenal. They've already played.